Welcome to Heart of North Texas, a philanthropic podcast that celebrates the work of nonprofit organizations in the region. In each episode, we will bring you stories of compassion, resilience, and dedication from the people who are making a difference in the lives of others. This episode brought to you by Credit the Cause, the home of the infinite donation. Today's guest is Ishaan Patel of Under My Umbrella. And now your host, Zoe Martin.
Thank you so much for joining me, Sean. I don't remember exactly how I found your nonprofit, but I was super tickled when I did because I understand that this organization is something you started with your brother. And how long ago was that?
So I've been doing we started Under My Umbrella back in 2022.
Okay.
But it's kind of like my family's passion. We've been doing service for 3 years prior, so.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
As a family, so you, your brother, your parents?
Yes, me, my brother, and my mother specifically.
All right.
And my grandma got involved later on, but. Yeah.
Okay. And so 3 years ago, what were you doing?
So 3 years ago, how it started is we were just doing a small movement, and how that, I guess, how that got started is my mother would always take me and my brother downtown, when she had to work in her office, right? And one day, a man approached my little brother and asked him for water, but we had no water for him, unfortunately. But my mom, being the awesome person she is, offered to take us to the store and get a bottle of water. So once we did all that, we got it back to the man. He was gone, and yeah, we were kind of a little saddened by that, and that kind of sparked an idea, I guess. So the next weekend, we got, I guess, a couple cases of water, and my mother researched a couple of homeless shelters or areas where, people will be needing water on the street because it's really hot in Texas.
Yeah.
People have dehydration and heat exhaustion, things like that. So cold water is essential. So the next week we bought some cases of water, we hit the streets, and we just handed them out one after another, and we realized we didn't have enough. So the next week I actually found an old blue wagon, and I filled it with water, and it was this big, and it was massive, and we did that for a little bit. So I brought the wagon down, and we handed out water there.
And I recognize now that you said you had an old blue wagon.
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
seen that in some of your
You
posts.
have? Yes. That was
Yeah.
the very first one. Unfortunately, it's broken now, but I mean the movement is still there.
Yeah.
And so that's the first part of them.
I think that's great. And I'm curious, since you said that that first time that you got approached or your brother was approached asking for water, you came back and that gentleman wasn't there. But then the following week you were like, well, we need water that we can provide these people. Whose idea was it that said, let's do this again? Let's find more people.
Honestly, it was my little brother, Avi. He was really he's really sad, and my mom wanted to find a solution. So
Aww.
I was just working. We just work as a family, and when we see a need, we try and fill it.
That's awesome. How old was Avi 3 years ago?
Avi was 11.
At the time. Okay. And you are how old now?
Wait, I'm 17.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so Avi's 14 now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's awesome. And so he was still in elementary school at the time.
Right.
And you were in junior high? 3 years ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Cool. Well, and that's honestly one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the podcast, was because I feel like sometimes people think I'm not old enough to do community service or to make an impact. And obviously, I mean, you and Avi, with the help of your mom and now your grandmother, you're making an impact on the community. And I think it's really neat because you're not just providing water now. Tell me more about what Under My Umbrella actually does.
So we have four main programs. Some of them, we have I just talked about our neighbor outreach program. That's water, supplies, different things to the unsheltered neighbors in downtown Dallas and Plano, or just wherever we need it. And then we have our rainy day fund. That's a smaller fund. So if someone needs help with groceries or something like that in our local area, maybe Allen or something, we can provide those things. If they just need to make it week to week.
Yeah.
And then we have our holiday outreach. That's actually our longest running one. So that's where we take Christmas trees and we have mini Christmas trees and different things, and we bring like holiday spirit to different shelters and things like that. And then the last one is my Umu Youth Academy. That's what this shirt is.
Awesome.
And basically, right now the aim is to bring like sports and things to underprivileged youth. So right now it's basketball, but I do want to expand it in the future, things like that.
So you play basketball.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you coaching?
In the Umu Youth Academy, I am a coach, yes.
That's perfect. So is this for young, like elementary students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's for younger because, honestly, I'm not good enough to teach the older ones.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. You're making a difference in these younger kids' lives. And I just want to point out this sweet little umbrella that you all brought in for me that represents Under My Umbrella. And this is it origami?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Who created it?
It's actually my mom. We used to all make them, but she just finds colors she likes and makes
Well,
them. 'Cause
it's
that's
very
our symbol.
fitting. Blue is my favorite
Oh,
color.
I chose right then.
Yes, and then this brochure with Umu. Okay,
Yeah.
Umu. So
Yes,
Under
ma'am.
My Umbrella. So that's it's got a lot of information that I'm going to look into here later on. But I want you to tell me a little bit more about each of the individual things that are under my umbrella, because I recently saw a post where you all had gotten peanut butter and some other things, and that was gifted to Under My Umbrella by different nonprofits and people. So how do people get involved with Under My Umbrella?
It's pretty simple. So we have an email. People contact us. And I think it's really great that we're a grassroots organization like this because we can stay in contact with other ones. One example is a food pantry in Dallas that we actually helped start. And it's in West Dallas. It's called My Eagle Food Pantry.
Wow. You
Yeah.
helped start My Eagle Food Pantry.
Yeah, so it's just like they're a small organization, we're a small organization. Everybody helps each other out, you know what I mean?
That's great.
Another example is Miss Rhonda, we call her Queen. She runs an organization as well in West Dallas, and what she does is every the first Wednesday of every month, she rents out a laundromat, and what she does is she pays for everyone to do their laundry. So what happens is she pays for the laundry, we go over there, we bring the food, the drinks with our neighbor outreach program, and it's just like, organizations helping organizations.
That's incredible. See, there's so many things, and I don't know if you understand how a lot of times a nonprofit organization will say, okay, we're going to help, for instance, there's an organization I know that helps families when their children have a cancer diagnosis. And what they do is provide gas cards, gift cards for food and things, but that's like their central thing. And that's all they do. Whereas Under My Umbrella, there's so many opportunities that you all are providing. You're giving back in huge ways, even though I don't know if you think it's small, but I see it as great opportunities. And then you're not just in Plano, you're in Dallas, you're hitting downtown. You said West Dallas, that's where the food bank is now.
Yes, ma'am.
And so
It's called the Ledbetter Eagle Food Pantry.
okay, perfect.
The Heart of North Texas is sponsored in part by Credit the Cause, a payment processing company that donates 40% of gross revenue to a charity of the business's choosing, turning the cost of doing business into purposeful giving. Visit creditthecause.com, the home of the infinite donation. And now, back to the Heart of North Texas with Zoe Martin.
Let's talk about one of the other parts, the holiday. Tell me what that looks like. How are you finding families for that?
So that one is my mother actually. She volunteered at a shelter called the Samaritan Inn. I don't know if you've ever heard of
In
that.
McKinney.
Yes, but during the holidays, I actually wondered. I was like wondering, and I asked her, "What do these kids do in the shelters?" Because there's obviously not enough room for like a big Christmas tree like we celebrate at home.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom didn't have an answer for me either. So together we came up with an idea. We wanted to bring this holiday cheer to kids in the shelters. So we found some mini trees online. They're so cute. It's like a mini tree that's like about a foot tall. And we got ornaments, and we set up a whole event for kids to just come in and decorate their very own mini tree. And we set up little kits and everything. And as that kind of grew, we included different holidays. Like now we have, build your own menorah, build your own tree. So, yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you're not just taking one religious idea, you're expanding
Right,
so that you can, exactly,
yes,
so you
ma'am.
can be inclusive. That's great.
Yes,
I like that. There were two other parts of Under My Umbrella that I wanted to talk about. So just go ahead and tell me about both of them so I don't miss anything.
Yes, ma'am. So another one I want to talk about is our rainy day funds. So that's the one I was talking about where it's just like people who need a little bit of help. Maybe they need help like making ends meet this week for groceries, or we're partnered with a mechanic, so maybe they need to get their car fixed. We can pay for someone to do that for them.
Very nice.
So it's just like a small monthly fund, just reaching out locally, I guess. And then the other one is my organization, or my favorite movement, I guess. I know you shouldn't have favorites, but
It's okay. I think it's perfectly fine.
it's called the Youth Academy, and the big program is like to bring like arts and sports to underprivileged kids everywhere. But right now, recently what we've done is we've been hosting a basketball camp, because bringing sports to underprivileged, that's like what we're focusing on right now. And it's been going on. We've been doing it. I've done 2 of them now. It's really simple. What I do is I have a bunch of coaches. Like I assemble a team of coaches, and we come up with a plan. We come up with like a schedule, and we partnered with Dallas Parks and Recreation.
Nice.
So what they do is they let us rent out a rec center for free.
Wow.
And we use their courts and stuff to host a basketball camp for these kids.
I'm really glad that they support you, because that's
Yes,
an
ma'am.
expense, right? If you
Yes,
were having
ma'am.
to rent out a rec center or
Of
something,
course.
that would be a chunk of change. The kids that you're coaching are elementary school. Do you do it through the school year, or what time of year are they going to this camp?
Usually it's during summer.
Okay.
So, but I also want to like try and do things during winter break. That's like 2 weeks off. So,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
And I'm curious, because I know your mom and your grandmother are involved, but you're old enough to drive.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
do you have your own transportation to be able to get you to these activities?
Yeah, yes. It depends, honestly, but like for things like the neighbor outreach, where we like bring food and stuff, yeah, I'll drive like a second car full of supplies. Or for the youth camp, like I'll drive my coaches there, just like
Wow.
helping out when needed.
Wow. And your coaches are these children, I say children, are these teenagers that are
Yes,
your
yes,
age?
they're
Okay.
they're like my friends, I guess.
Okay. That's
So it's just like a
fantastic.
fun way to get everybody involved, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and you get that because it's your friends, you're able to talk about and plan things,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
just through the school year, but they're your friends. So you've got numbers and you're
Yes,
online and
yes.
things. So that's
We
fantastic.
have we make like group chats and things to
Yeah.
plan. Yes, ma'am.
I like that. So is it possible right now? What school are you attending?
Allen High School, ma'am.
Is Allen the only school then? Allen School District. I don't know how many elementary schools they have, but are you in one elementary school, or is it somehow spread the news and then all of the elementary school kids, any of them who wanted to participate, could?
So we don't serve Allen for UMU.
Okay.
It's actually I don't know if it's a rec center. It's called JC Zaragoza, and it's where the Ledbetter community is, like the pantry.
Oh.
So we serve that community, and they
Gotcha.
have their kids. So yeah, it's not in
Wow.
Allen.
But you live in Allen.
Yes, ma'am.
So how far is that drive for you?
It depends on the traffic, but it's like 45 minutes to an hour, I
Yeah.
would say. Yeah.
And that's one way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Totally. I'm so glad that you and your brother, your mom, and now your grandmother are all making this difference, that you're looking beyond what is this thing where you started out giving water to now you have so many different legs of Under My Umbrella. And I know you've got your sheet in front of you with some statistics. So tell me a little bit about those.
So, yeah, for 2023, we've had 92 distributions. That's our neighbor outreach. So 92 distributions.
Wow.
We've had 2 basketball camps. I just talked about that.
Yeah.
What we do is for the neighbor outreach, when we give out food and stuff, we upcycle like plastic utensils and stuff like that. So we did 5,500 plastic takeout utensils that are recycled. And then with our rainy day funds, we helped out 19 families. We've given out 6 PVSA awards, 3 grant awards, and then me and my grandmother have both won a Point of Light award.
Wait a minute. You're going to have to explain to me what these awards are. I'm unfamiliar with the PVSA
sorry.
and everything.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Maybe
Sorry
some
about
of our listeners are.
Yes, ma'am. So PVSA is Presidential Volunteer Service Award. So that's just you log your hours and then they give you an award for that. So it's a recognition of like how much time you put in.
Very nice.
And then the Point of Light award is it's a magazine, and what they do is they highlight like one person every day that's doing something in their community. So
very nice. Okay.
yes,
Is there I thought there were 3 awards, but were there just the 2?
oh, there's also like different grant awards that we do, but sorry, for our neighbor outreach award, I need to elaborate on a lot of things, sorry, but we have 100 winter care packages, and what those are little, like, I guess, have you ever heard of like an organization giving out like little care packages full of like food so that's like what we do, or like our version of it. So it's just like anyone can come pick them up, anyone can give them out. So
Was part of that the peanut butter thing recently?
some of the peanut butter things went in, but yeah.
Okay.
And then what we also do is for our neighbor outreach, we give out clothes, because a lot of these people, they don't have access to like laundry and stuff every day. So we've given out 10,500 pieces of clothing upcycled. We do that in partnership with Custom Ink. They actually give us clothes.
With Custom Ink?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that in West Dallas?
No, it's its own like company. I don't know where it is, but we have different like people that pick it up.
Okay, I'm curious because I moved here from Longview, and there's a screen printing place, and it's called Custom Ink, and I don't know if they're a national. It is
the same one,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
They just any used clothes, any returns, they're all new. They just might have been printed wrong or something. So we can give those out. Those are good clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I want to expand a little bit. I'm trying to think. There was something you said that the plasticware. How does that work? Like, are you partnering with restaurants, or how are you getting that to be able to recycle it?
So it's just like, you know how when you order like takeout or something, and you get like a little plastic bag of plastic utensils. It's just like a lot of people don't use it, so we just ask for it.
Oh, because
people can donate it. Really?
I have a bag. So when we
Just
take
like-
vacations, we will take, styrofoam plates or cups and bowls, and then plastic utensils. So
Right.
when we get them, we just toss them in the bag. And then when we go on vacation, we'll take them with us. But we have more than we're going to use. So if people have plastic utensils from their takeout that they're not using, is there a drop-off location, or how do they get them to you?
It's our home.
Great.
Yeah, there's a little bucket outside of our house, and
Okay.
yeah, people just drop off their donations there.
Do you put that on the website, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so brochures have that information. The website has that information. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay. Are there other things that you all are taking for donations? I mean, you mentioned that you get new clothing from Custom Ink, but
Yes, ma'am. It is approaching winter time, and we need these people to stay warm. So blankets, sleeping bags, anything is appreciated. Even tents, because some people like lose their tents. So
oh my goodness,
anything
they lose
to-
their tents.
yeah,
That's
or
their
like
home.
yeah. So like, there's homeless solutions in Dallas. Sometimes they just, when people like go off to work to, I guess, make the city look a little better, they clean up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then these people lose everything. So
Wow.
we need like tents and stuff. And
Okay. Tents and
blankets, socks.
Oh, okay, definitely socks.
Definitely socks.
Yeah.
Socks, underwear.
Okay.
Like
All right, and all of those things can be left at the inside of your box.
Yes,
outside
ma'am.
the house.
We have contact information like on our brochures and websites. Like,
Okay.
if you just give us an email or give us a call.
Okay, so we're for sure going to put all that contact information in the show notes. So if anyone
ma'am.
is able or interested, then they can definitely check that out.
Thank you so much.
I'm just looking at your sheet and I'm like, that's a lot of information on there. Is there anything else on that sheet that we haven't already discussed?
I guess I'd like to talk about like our operating, just like how we operate.
For sure.
So Under My Umbrella is a extremely grassroots corporation. I just told you we operate out of our own home, so we have no overhead costs. We don't have like moving vans or anything. Everything's done out of our own cars. We don't have like a communications or media manager. That's actually my little brother like designed the website and everything. So
Oh, wow.
we have a zero operating budget and just 100% volunteer effort.
Wow. So how can people volunteer with you? Meet you where you're at, or tell me about opportunities people have to volunteer?
So yeah, we have different opportunities. Like I talked about the winter care packages earlier. So maybe if you don't have time, or you know, if you don't have time or you can't donate, you can pick up a couple packages, and if you see someone needing help, you can drop it off. That's obvious. You would come to our house and pick it up. And then we have also like what we do is we grant like service awards to a lot of high schoolers recently. But what they do is when we get our donations from Custom Ink, we have people come in and sort clothes, like mediums, large.
Okay.
So we do that through Custom Ink.
Okay, when people are needing to sort out like the sizes of the clothing, then is that done at Custom Ink or is that done in your home?
It's done like in our home. So what happens is we like load my mom's car full of clothes. We drive them back, and then there's just like a stack of clothes, or boxes. They're in boxes, but there's like a pile of boxes of clothes, and then we have a Saturday service thing. People will come in and sort clothes.
Okay.
And in return, we give them hours, like community service hours.
Gotcha. I feel like there's a huge opportunity for the community here, because there are definitely other like screen printing places that have those kind of shirts that didn't make it to the customer's hands that they could donate. There's for people like me, we get takeout and then we're not using our plastic utensils, that we could drop those off. The coats, the blankets, socks, tents. I'm just trying to like think of all of the ways. There's so many that people can participate in helping Under My Umbrella.
It doesn't have to be like a big thing, Just like a small initiative goes a long way.
For sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have started a giving circle. I don't know if you're familiar with what that means.
I'm not.
So I want to get 100 people together to collectively donate $100, whether it's their business or them individually donating $100. They commit to do that 4 times a year. So that four times a year means ideally we've got $10,000 or more that we can give back to a nonprofit.
I see.
So if you were to receive $10,000, what do you think that could do for Under My Umbrella?
It would be amazing, honestly. Because we have so many different programs, were you asking like what I would do with it?
For sure.
Okay, so it would be like split between our different programs, but we could use a lot of things because we operate out of our home, so there's a lot of things we don't have. So maybe like renting a moving van here, or it would just go to small things just to help us run our operations better, I suppose.
Well, and I feel like there's a lot of miles that get put on the vehicles.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
need oil changes more often than the average person may, especially as a nonprofit, because you're not just there once a week. You're going to multiple locations.
Picking up donations, things like that. It's very...
Yeah. So I think it's great that you've partnered with somebody who's a mechanic that's able to help out
Yes, ma'am.
here and there. But I'm wondering if there's other people that could participate. For instance, your coaching program. Are you looking for more coaches that could go with you, or do you feel like, okay, our car is full? They would have to take their own car.
I'm pretty open to anything, so as long as like you shoot us an email or something, then
So if
Yeah.
there were other kids your
If there are
age
other
that
kids
said
that
we
wanted
want to
to
coach,
like for service hours or something like that, then yeah, I'd be open to doing it.
how many students do you have right now with your you've only done 2, but
Yes,
that, like,
2.
was there a smaller group that participated the first time and then it's grown to the second group?
It grew a little bit, but it was promoted really well the first time, so we only have room for like 30 kids max. Otherwise, it becomes too much.
Okay.
Like there's not enough space in the gym. But
Are you doing 6-on-6 teams or is it 5-on-5? I'm not
It's
good with
5-on-5.
basketball.
oh, so I can elaborate a little bit, but what we do is we do it like just like it's like an introduction to the game.
Uh-huh.
So first we'll have like a little warm up, then each team of coaches, I guess, because I have 2 coaches. I have 6 coaches now, so there'll be like a team of coaches. Each team of coaches runs a station, teaches the kids how to play, and then they play the game after. So it's
Okay.
kind of like getting them immersed, having them learn the game, and then playing it.
Okay. Do you have refs?
I do. We are the refs.
You are the refs?
Yes, ma'am.
You're coaching and you're the ref?
Sometimes we play as well. It's
Okay.
really fun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure that the children enjoy that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Ishaan, I am so glad that you were able to join me today. Thank you. I know you were nervous, but you did really well.
Thank you.
And I also want to point out, this was the first time you've been on a podcast. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so if there are other opportunities where you've heard this podcast today and you would like to hear more about Under My Umbrella and Ishaan's little brother, Avi, he was out of school today, but we are currently only able to record one person at a time in the studio. And so Avi didn't get to join us. But if you have the ability to have multiple people on your podcast, we would love to have you ask Ishaan and Avi to guest on your podcast so they can help spread the word with their mission about Under My Umbrella. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for being a part of the success of the Heart of North Texas podcast. This episode was brought to you by Credit the Cause, home of the infinite donation. Please check our show notes for contact information for the program, our guests, and our sponsors. And please tag us on your social media. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.